laughter's in the air. Can't live without you. Eyes staring back at mine, our hands intertwined. I know this will never last. We're bad for each other. We bad, we bad. It's like Bonnie and Clyde. We're bad for each other. It's like living in a world of lies. In the world of can't take it, gotta shake it. No, no, no. You were always on my mind, like a storm inside. Can't live without you. Can't live without you, baby. Thorns fell when we touched. Tension feels too much. Love made us so blind. We bad for each other. It's like Bonnie and Clyde. We bad for each other. It's like living in a world of lies. In the world of lies. We Bonnie, Bonnie, Clyde, Bonnie, Bonnie, Clyde. That's how we roll. So much in love with you, baby. This is how I feel. This is how I feel. So much in love with you, baby. This love is real. Yes, I'm so much in love with you. I can't get my mind off of you. Bad for each other. It's like Bonnie and Clyde. We bad for each other. It's like living in a world of lies.
And there you have it, Bonnie and Clyde. That's Katryna Alexis. And we thank you so much for stopping by the David Bowers Award and sharing her music and story. And we've got another guest standing by. As a matter of fact, I see no reason, John Bon Jovial, I see no reason not to bring our next guest on, play some music, and talk with R.D. Olson. What do you think?
I think that's a capital idea.
Fantastic. Then we will do just that. R.D. Olson will be joining us in about 4 minutes right after we listen to this. And you're going to love this, especially Elvis fans. This is Mama, I Miss Memphis.
I can't help looking back. Oh, Mama, down on that Mississippi shotgun shack, where a little boy's lonely dreams all began. And oh, Mama, I miss Memphis in the springtime. Oh, Lordy, Lord, when the magnolias bloom. And Mama, I miss walking down Mill Street on sunny afternoon. You know, Mama, sometimes I wish we were back in 53. You remember with just Scotty, DJ Bill and me? We was making all them records down the sun, Mama. And everybody was there. Sam and Johnny and Roy, B.B. King, and the Howlin' Wolf. Who could forget the old killer Jerry Lee? He outlived us all. We didn't know we was making history, Mama. We just having some fun. And when all those angels arise and waken, you're gonna see, 'cause they'll be singing hallelujah, glory, hallelujah. time we got to be going. But there's just one more thing I'd like to share. You see, God's love is everywhere, and there's a place beyond the stars where truth is beauty, and the beauty is ours. Arise and waken, and you will sing glory, hallelujah with me. His light is shining.
Whew, I ran out of breath just listening to that, RD. How did you do that?
So did I. So did I recording it. That
Well,
last
welcome
note.
aboard, RD, and I'm glad to see you got enough voice left to sit and chat with us for a little bit. I read somewhere.
Thank you very much.
I read
Thank you.
somewhere where it said that R.D. Olson understands the blues. Now, where do you think they got that idea from? What's your background, R.D.? Where did you pick up this understanding for the blues?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but you know, there's a couple of roads to the blues. One was Elvis Presley because you know I think I was 8 or 9 or something when he was performing on Ed Sullivan and stuff, and you know I just loved that music. And it turns out he was heavily blues influenced. But truly, one night I was not supposed to be listening to the radio. I was about 15 years old, and supposed to go to bed. And I was up there dinking around with the radios, old radios. They weren't old then, but and I run across a blues station out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Ironically, I'm about an hour from Little Rock now, but and I heard a music form I didn't know or understand, and I just loved it. And it was a blues station. I was picking up a late night blues station. It was after midnight, and it came on Friday nights out of Little Rock. And that's when I first heard Muddy Waters. And I was so blown away by that voice and that sound. I started investigating blues. So I started really collecting blues records at 17, Lightning Hopkins, anything I could find, and Sonny Boy Williamson and that stuff. And I just loved the music. So, you know, you start your journey. Where I lived a few years later, I'm from Zumbrota, Minnesota, which is about 60 miles out of Minneapolis, a real small rural town. But when I was in my 20s going to school in Minneapolis, I wound up getting some harp lessons from Muddy Waters' harp player, Mojo Buford. Now, Muddy Waters had many harp players, but Mojo did do a stint for a year or two, then run his own band. And that stuff, I first got harp lessons from him. And along the way, you know, met and played with Luther Allison and Carrie Bell, and I can go on and on. And, you know, you start building your resume, your blues resume, and living life and can give you the blues. So I did my tutelage. Most recently, I toured with, before he passed away, Long John Hunter, alligator recording artist out of Texas and at that time Phoenix, Arizona. And most recently, Beverly Guitar Watkins, who passed away 2 years ago. She did her last show with me. We didn't, of course, know it at the time. But my band would back her up, and then she passed away 6 months later, and it would be her last live show. So I've been out there a long time, kicking around, playing in blues bands and local bands in Phoenix. I was in the Phoenix blues scene for many years in northern Arizona, so got put in their Blues Hall of Fame, I think, back in 2015, which was cool. So been out there a long time, kicking around, played a lot of nightclubs, a lot of juke joints.
Well, I have to inject a little bit of a personal feeling here. I'm really, you know, I'm happy for you, and I'm glad you're where you're comfortable doing what you want to do, but I'm kind of sad that you left the Phoenix area when you did, because that was just a little before we got to meet. I mean, this is my meeting with you. I'm in the Phoenix area now, but I missed connecting with you when you were here.
Yeah, you know, I lived up in Prescott and then Sedona. So, I mean, I was in the Phoenix scene for 4 years. I moved there from Austin, Texas, and Phoenix, Arizona. I came, you know, from Minneapolis to Austin, Texas, which had a great music scene, the time of Stevie Ray Vaughan. And when I moved to Phoenix, Arizona had every bit as good a blues scene as Austin, Texas did. I played with Chico Chisholm. He was their famous little blues man that Bob Cortor bought. You know, you probably know Bob. He has the radio show there and owns the Rhythm Room.
Mm-hmm.
And he had brought Chico Chisholm, Howlin' Wolf's drummer, and Sunnyland Slim and B.B. King, and he brought him to Phoenix and made him a little star there. And then that relationship ended, and I was there, and I think the year would have been about 86, 87-ish, and maybe 88. But then I got hired in Chico's band, played with him for about 2.5, 3 years.
So when did you leave the Phoenix area?
Well, after 4 years in Phoenix, and I did a stint with Buddy Reed and the Rip-It-Ups, who was another Phoenix stalwart at the time. I took a job up in Laughlin, Nevada, playing I was a drummer, too. A harp player, front man, but also a drummer. So I took a job playing drums up in Laughlin for a casino band. I wanted to make that next step up. And so worked at casinos for a while. We played primarily, this is what I got into. I got into the pickup band that would get, when bands got fired, we'd plug in. You know, they come in on Monday, they sound check. If they don't follow the rules, they get cut. Now, that didn't happen a lot, but I was in the band that got the pickup gigs. But we did a lot of and I'll get you to the casinos, but I did a lot of the parties, the employee parties, the birthday parties in the upstairs of the casino. So we played at the Ramada, was our kind of go-to club.
Mm-hmm.
And Colorado Bell had a nice, beautiful band stage back then.
Yeah.
And did a Monday night blues jam session there at the Colorado Bell. But we had a house gig on the Bullhead City side that we were at every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if we weren't playing there, we were playing at a casino or in Lake Havasu or something like that.
Oh, well.
So
yeah,
it's good times.
We spent a couple of years up in Bullhead, been to Laughlin many times over the years. May have even run into you and not known it at the time, but we
played at the Sunshine Marina. Remember that place?
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
Every
absolutely.
Friday, the Sunshine Marina, and Bruce Speakman was the band leader. Now, Bruce is still playing there, and he's been there forever. But and he had all the contacts with the casinos, and I just, he's got to be in his. I'm 67. He's got to be pushing 80. But I just talked to him here maybe a few weeks ago on Facebook, and then we called and chatted. But yeah, those were
John Bon Jovial is sitting there. John Bon Jovial is sitting there thinking that I'm having too much fun. I know he just wants to get in here and jaw with you a bit. John?
Well, yeah, you're also talking about, places that I've hung out quite a bit, too. The, Laughlin and Bullhead City, Kingman area. I love that part of Arizona.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind living there, to be honest with you, although I know it gets kind of stupid hot in the summertime. But unfortunately, the Colorado Bell is closed. I hope that somebody will come along and revive it. But I can remember, walking the Riverwalk there, and my wife and I would stop into the Colorado Bell and, get a beer and listen to some of the bands that were playing. And maybe we saw you. I don't know, but we always had a great time there.